Shifting our focus to West Asia now, where U.S. President Joe Biden's outgoing administration says that they are still hopeful of reaching a Gaza ceasefire deal.
This is even as key negotiator Qatar said that it will suspend its mediation until both Israel and Hamas show willingness and keenness and determination to in fact achieve a ceasefire. Now, the U.S. State Department said that Washington is continuing to pursue a number of initiatives to secure the release of hostages, and it has not given up hope.
We're continuing to pursue a number of initiatives to secure the release of hostages. That work is ongoing. We have not given up hope, and it's critical to us to get a deal done as soon as possible, especially so that we can bring the remaining hostages home to their families.
Today, the families of the 7 American Israeli hostages still held by Hamas in Gaza will meet with the U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan at the White House. According to National Security Council spokesperson Sullivan, he regularly met with the families of the hostages throughout the past year. And Washington continues to work to get a deal done as soon as possible to bring the hostages home to their families.
Furthermore, the United States said it has not made an assessment that Israel is in violation of U.S. law after Israel made some changes to address demands laid out in a letter from Washington last month to improve the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. The State Department, however, said that Washington would like to see more changes happen.
In yet other news, Israeli President Isaac Herzog met with the U.S. President Joe Biden on Tuesday and described his discussions as fruitful, emphasizing that the U.S. administration is committed in working towards peace in West Asia and security until the end of its term on January 20th. The Israeli president outlined key areas of focus, which are Lebanon, Gaza, and the looming Iranian threat.
First and foremost, there are various frontiers that we know. One is Lebanon, one is Gaza, of course Iran, and the entire effort of how to change the trajectory of the Middle East towards a better future. I thank the President wholeheartedly for his efforts, and I know that there is an in-depth commitment and effort to move forward.
Meanwhile, a top UN official condemned Israel's daily bombardment in Gaza, describing its acts reminiscent of the gravest international crimes. Speaking to the Security Council, the interim chief of the UN humanitarian agency said civilians are being driven from their homes and forced to witness their family members being killed, burned alive in Gaza.
Essential commercial goods and services, including electricity, have been all but cut off. This has led to increasing hunger, starvation, and now, as we have heard, potentially famine. We are witnessing acts reminiscent of the gravest international crimes.
2 people were killed in northern Israel's Nahariya town after a building was hit during a rocket strike. Ambulances arrived at the scene where a building was set on fire after the rocket attack. Israeli army said a barrage of 10 rockets fired from Lebanon was partially intercepted, and the impact was felt at several locations.
On the other hand, an Israeli strike targeting a town in south of Beirut's Shof region killed at least 12 people. Lebanon's health ministry said that the raid hit a building that housed people displaced in the Israel-Hezbollah war.
A large explosion lit up the sky in the southern suburbs of Beirut, igniting a fire, sending thick plumes of smoke into the air. Over 3,000 people have been killed in Israeli strikes on Lebanon over the last year.